Hello everyone, this is Ponshan Kavera here on our education desk where we talk about education in totality and other relevant topical issues that are worth talking about. 2 to 3 days ago, fresh graduates from Makerere University were seen holding placards on different social media platforms with initials, "What is next?" It is mind-boggling that an arsenal of intellectuals have come out on different social media platforms blaming them for what they did. It has simply become a blame game. Or many of them are actually taking it for fun. But I want to look at it from a rather different perspective. Not saying that what these other people are saying is wrong. No, of course, knowledge is subjective because we interpret it differently, and there is no one who can claim authority over knowledge. My take on what is actually happening is that people did not seem to understand the main rationale of these "what next" placards that are trending on different social media platforms by fresh Makerere University graduates. While students from Africa's Harvard had the audacity to do that, there are so many from KIU, there are so many from Chambogo University, and there are so many fresh graduates from different universities across the country that may not be able to boldly come out to put that across, but they are suffering from vicious cycle of poverty and unemployment, yet they hold first-class degrees and they're good engineers, good teachers, but while they cannot be able to use the skills they attained in the process of learning to be able to create something. But now, when I look at it from my own perspective, what next? We have graduated, we have second upper class, we have honors degree, we have first class degrees, but what next? We don't have the competence, we are not well equipped enough to start our own innovations. While others may look at it from employment part of it, that the government has not created jobs, you can hardly find a government that can create jobs for everyone, but they are asking what is next. They are calling upon the government to be able to build strong institutions to address the inconsistencies that are compromising their creativity and innovation. Now you're telling me to start my own employment, to create employment opportunities for others, but taxes are at the highest level ever. So how do you expect me to do that? What next then? We are still stuck from the traditional educational system that trains us to be white collar workers, white collar job seekers. You have not empowered us to be able to create our own jobs. I have seen a certain doctor here, Dr. Kalunji. I appreciate he's a very intelligent man who were together at MOOC at the same time. He's been able to do a lot of things, but he's a medical doctor, for God's sake. You have an address where you begin from. You started an NGO for health something, Uganda. But you have where to begin from. Where do you expect Ponshan Kavera, a history teacher from Namutamba in Mitiana, begin? So you want me to start a school when I don't even have a land to start a school? Or the land where I would have started a school, it is being grabbed by some of those key policy henchmen? What next? These fresh graduates are not asking the government to actually give them a job. While I believe there could be the underlying objective of their what next placards that are trending on social media and everywhere, but I believe they are also reminding the government that the education system we are having is so wanting. The curriculum needs to be redefined. What next? We have graduated with first-class degrees, but what next? We cannot use our skills well. They are informing the education system to be a little more flexible on what they teach and how they teach it. It is not about creating employment opportunities for these fresh graduates. Students need career guidance to be able to understand their career options. Students need to be helped in that line. That is what is next. I have seen my OG and a fellow teacher, Basemera, talking about, she has given very many relevant answers to the students who are next. But there is one that I've actually not understood very well. You're talking about designing a very good CV. Does a good CV represent a best, well-capacitated employee or employer? People forge those things. I've seen academicians from wherever I have lived lying to us that they have published, their papers have been accepted in Lotteridge. But when they have never even sent a single paper in a junk journal, academic paper in a junk journal. So a CV is not a true representation of a well-capacitated labor force. I think that needs to be revised a little harder and supported by existing scholarly work. The students are informing us about what we need to know. What next? We need to help these students to be able to understand how better they can use their different skills to penetrate into the job market and other certain industries that are existing. That is what next. How can we help them? Through teaching and learning process. That is what next. You're telling them to do on-job training. Mahatma Gandhi introduced that in India, and it worked. But do we have those systems back home? I remember we had different strikes in Makerere University when we had not been given our money to go and do internship, and yet our parents had been paying that money for the last 2 years. So what system has the government put in place to facilitate internship or on-job training for the past 2 to 3 years? Or scrap off education, and we know probably there is no education. People, let us not use the opportunities that we got by probably luck to come out and challenge these people. We've been unemployed for the last 10 years, and yet we had good marks. Not because we are stupid. How do you connect with your immediate boss? How does your immediate boss interpret your behaviors? Paul Freire tells us about critical reasoning. You cannot out-reason your boss. Then you're becoming an enemy. You're becoming a danger to his position at work. That is how Africa's education is meant. We are supposed to bow to those that are in highest decision-making bodies. We're not supposed to challenge them. When you work better, you become an enemy to even your immediate neighbor. There is need to reorient our education system. That is the what next I mean within my own assortment of ideas or understanding. We don't have to jump on the wagons of blaming these fresh graduates that are asking what next. We just have to think objectively about what next, far beyond what we think. For you as an organization, a company, how did you start? Did you just wake up from your bedroom and say, no, let me go and start an organization? Or you had a base? Huh? We need to have where to begin from. Some of us, we come from very poor backgrounds. You have no father to give you 10 million to start up. I remember I started a boutique on Kampala Road for 300,000 Ugandan shillings. What happened thereafter? Just on the street, taxes were high every day. I was receiving people coming to get money out of me. And the business crumbled in a blink of an eye. My neighbor, who was the son of a financial vanguard, is far now. He comes here to China and I pick him, I take him to the boutiques. He's one of the richest boys back in Kampala. You need a backup plan. Now, if our parents cannot give us the backup plan, let the leadership in power give us the backup plan to be able to take off economically, to avoid questions like what next. That is my take over what is next escapade that is trending on social media. And many of our very good friends and former classmates, because of what they have achieved out of their sweat, I acknowledge that. But I know very well that they were settled somewhere, saved some little money, put up some institutions that have helped them to be where they are today. So they are basing on that to criticize the what next. I think we are quick to judge. Thank you so much for listening. Please share, comment, and like.